Welcome to Behind the Scenes in Rich's workshop. Although, as you can see, I'm definitely not in the workshop right now. I'm seated at the breakfast bar in the kitchen, where my wife and I start our day having a cup of coffee and talking, solving the world's problems, as we put it. Those of you that know me know that I've been a woodworker for over 50 years. And some of you have expressed an interest in knowing more about me and what I do and how I go about creating content for Sawnary. So this video is an attempt to try and share some of that with you. I'm going to show you what my day is like. Although, don't worry, you don't have to watch 12 hours to find that out. My wife and I are fortunate enough to have a nice house out in the country in a small town. When we bought this house, we had no idea that I would be working for Sawnary, creating the content that I do. But there's two things I knew I had to have. One was an office and the other is a workshop. And both of them come in handy with the work that I'm doing for Sawnary. So after our time together in the morning, my wife starts her commute to her work, which is 35 miles away. And I start my commute to my work, which is a whole 30 feet away. This is my office where I start what I guess I could call the working part of my day after that huge 30-foot commute from the kitchen. I sit here at my desk and do typical things. I check my email. I keep in touch with other members of our team, like the editors, the people who do the thumbnails, the marketing people, the people that deal with social media. I don't do all that. I create the content. There's too much for one person to do. We have a whole team that works together, and we work together pretty well. But there's other things I do here. I get questions from viewers that are asking about various videos and my advice and what about, and things like that, and I'll try and answer as many of those as I can. I also make plans for things that I'm doing. I might do a list of the things that I'm going to include, like bullet points, that in the next video I record. I will draw drawings for projects. I've said for a long time that if you want to do the project right, make a drawing. Well, I find that the times I don't make a drawing and I just have it in my head, I make more mistakes. So I guess I prove my own point there, right? I'm also set up here for doing audio recording, which is really convenient as we're starting a podcast. And I can just sit here at my desk, do the recording right here before I go out in the workshop and do the video recording. Works out really nicely. So from here to the workshop is another great commute of a whole 30 feet. We're standing in the door of the family room. This is the door from the office into the family room, and that door over there on the other side, well, that's the door into my workshop. So as I said, it's only another 30 feet for me to get from my desk where I'm working on ideas to the workshop where I start putting them into place. Coming into the workshop, I usually don't find my bench nice and neat. A lot of that's because either what I was shooting for Sawnary the day before or what I was working on for myself the evening before is still sitting here on the workbench. So I got to do a little bit of cleanup. This workshop was built to be my workshop, not Sawnary's workshop. It's not a set, it's a working workshop. I do a lot of stuff out of here, not just the stuff that you see on the videos. The reason the bench is so big and so centrally located, rather than having the table saw centrally located, is because I had intended to make some big projects, tables, doors, things like that, where I need a lot of room to work. The other nice thing this does for me is if I'm working on smaller projects, and I've got something going on over here, maybe some things glued up, I can flip over and work on the other side of the workbench and just keep going. So I've given myself a lot of versatility by having this huge workbench sitting here. Not that many people have workbenches this big unless it's like a production shop. A lot of what I do never ends up part of video. We all know what it looks like to cut lumber up. So why show you a lot of lumber cutting? I'll have a few seconds in the videos to show you that I cut it up, but you really don't need to watch 20 minutes of me cutting material. Each shot is carefully planned out to give you the most value for your time in watching these videos. I don't want you to spend a lot of time sitting there going, okay, I'm bored with this guy. I already know what he's doing. I try and take the time when I'm doing things and fill it with useful information, such as a lot of the other extra lessons I fit in about various woodworking topics. That camera you see off to the side of the screen is my number 2 camera, which normally actually doesn't sit there. It sits farther over to the side. It's an iPhone, and I use the iPhone because it gives me good video quality, while at the same time, it also gives me a camera that I can use when I'm doing shorts. Shorts require the vertical format, and really they're all done with camera phones of one sort or another. I flip my iPhone around now so I can give you a shot of my main camera, which is a Canon XA60. I actually bought that camera before I started working with Sonary, and it's a good quality, what they call a prosumer camera. Maybe a TV studio wouldn't use it, but a professional videographer would definitely use this sort of a camera. I've got it mounted there on a special mount that I built to go on the shelf there, so I don't have to use a tripod all the time. I've also got a small tripod, actually a couple different ones I can set on the workbench to get close-up shots with whichever of my cameras. In this case with camera 2, my iPhone, but I have another tripod that I can use to say, take my overhead camera. My third camera is a Nikon D5200, and that's actually not a video camera, but does have video capability. Got a zoom lens mounted on it, and this gives me the ability to get an overhead shot. It's one of the ways I get close-ups of the various things I'm working on. While it may seem like shooting one of these videos is a pretty simple process, I mean, you only see 10, 15 minutes of video. It can take me hours to do that, depending on how much is done off camera, whether or not I make mistakes, whether I got to do reshoots. I do a lot of retakes. You know, the opening clip for this video that you're watching, I probably shot at least 20 times to get it to come out the way I want. That's not unusual. What's really bad is when I got to retake for something where I've made something, I've already got to put it together, and now I got to do it again. So it often means I've got to make new parts to be able to do it again, or I've got to change the design in some way to get it to come out. Another fairly typical part of what goes on here in my workshop is testing tools. We've been working on developing a line of tools. No, we're not designing and manufacturing these. These are tools that we find available that we can brand as being ours. But we're looking for quality. We don't want to just find anything out there and call it ours or get it branded with our name on it. We're looking for tools that are going to provide real value to the people who buy them. As an experienced woodworker, I'm specifically looking for tools that are maybe a bit unusual and that I find usual in my own woodworking. And that's a real key to me is that if it's not useful to me, I have a hard time seeing how it's going to be useful to other people. I'm also, as I said, looking for quality. That means, to a large part, that means precision. You know, buying a square that's out of square doesn't do anyone any good, right? So I want tools that are precision. I want tools that are durable. I want tools that are going to last. And so there's a lot of tools that come in here that look good, but when I start testing them, I find out they're either not accurate or they're not durable. And neither one will qualify as far as I'm concerned. Had a beautiful miter gauge come in for table saws that I had high hopes in, but when I try and cut a picture frame for it, it wouldn't work. I couldn't get it to give me an exact 45-degree angle. So I had to say no. I've got another one here now that I'm testing, and we've got high hopes for it, but I can't say for sure yet that it's going to be a go and that we're going to carry it as a tool. If it's not going to serve people, I don't want it. If it's not going to serve them well, I don't want it. So this is another piece of my job is not just building things for the videos, but trying to provide useful tools, useful things to help the woodworkers who are watching our channel and who are also supporting us to the purchase of these tools. Sometime in late afternoon, I finally get done with the day's shooting and I make my way back to my office where I upload all the video that I've shot. Typically, I'll upload it to my computer as well as to the cloud. It has to go to the cloud because we have other people that do the editing. I don't do the editing. I have the capability here, but I just don't have the time. And we have people who are professional editors that do a much better job than I can do anyway. So it'll take, depending on how much video I've got for the day, it may take an hour or two actually to upload it, which means that I'll get it uploading and I'll do some other things and then end up going through those videos in the evening, retitling them, putting them in order, and giving the editors the information they need so that they can actually do their work. When all that's said and done, and you think my day is done, I usually end up talking to some of our team overseas. We're scattered all over the place. They're on different schedules than I am, and so when I'm working, they're sleeping. When I'm sleeping, they're working. Whatever. And so we end up having some conversations, planning, discussing how we're going to do things, brainstorming. Sometimes what for me is fairly late in the evening, and sometimes pushes my bedtime later than I want it to. But hey, it's all part of the process. So we as a team can bring the best possible content to you, our viewers. But not only can you learn about woodworking, but you can enjoy it in the process.